Alright, so today is the day that we're gonna fix probably the worst problem on a 2IS. This right here. Maybe you have one, maybe you've seen videos about it. You know that one of the most annoying things about this car is the fact that if you lower it even an inch, that fender will just pop out and it'll end up breaking the tab. I don't know if it's because the tabs are like bad quality or just a placement of them maybe, but there is one product out there that I know of from a company called Mac Lifter Kits. Basically, Mac Lifter Kits is like a little metal piece that attaches to the bottom of the OEM fender tabs, and it basically reinforces it so that way it doesn't shred off whenever your lowered car, you know, your tire rubs on the fender or whatever. So maybe it'll make more sense once I actually start putting it on the car. But right now I'm gonna go get my hair cut, and then after that I'm gonna go to the store and get some epoxy for the fender kit, and then we can get to work. All right, man, so we are here at Lowe's. I want you to see that right there. But yeah, objective of today is to fix this right here. All right, so I just got the notification that the Mac Lifter Kit came in the mail. So now all I need to do is get some epoxy from Lowe's, and we can get to work. Let's get to it. All right, we got what we needed. This is what I saw him use in that video. Christian Mastro used this E6000 clear epoxy, so this is what I'm going to use as well. And then I'll see you guys when I get back to the garage so we can get the IS over there all fixed up and looking pretty. Alright guys, so from what I understand, this is all you're going to need for the installation of the lifter kits. If you aren't familiar with Mac Lifter Kits, check them out on IG. Heard them out there, a couple friends, Lexuses, who also have the same problems. And I'll show you guys exactly what my problems are in 1 second. But basically, you get 2 of each, because obviously 2 sides of the bumper. Just keep getting focused. So this part right here goes on the actual fender. So like reinforce that one little plastic piece that you have inside the fender, and then this is a part right here that will match right underneath the IS specific bumper points that screw onto the fender. I guess it'll make more sense once I actually get it on. These little clips right here to hold on the epoxy while it's drying, because I think it takes like 24 hours to fully dry. So I'm going to use these right here to hold on each side, and then this epoxy right here is what I'm going to use to glue this to the actual bumper. So this, let's see if I can make it a little brighter. This right here is the bad side for sure. Obviously it's hanging off right now. It's only being held on, I'm pretty sure, by this right there. It's the only point that's holding on this bumper on this side. Basically when the car gets lowered, you can actually see where the previous owner had a zip tie in there already. You can kind of see the color in there. He tried to zip tie the tab on there, but obviously the tire just keeps rubbing on it, so it's going to still mess it up. So now we're going to go ahead and try to fix that. Alright y'all, so this is what we're working with. I think I have a like a brake duct or something like that still connected down there. You probably can't really see it, but it's still connected, so I can't get the front bumper all the way off on this side. But this is basically all I need right here. As you can see, like the left side is decent. For some reason, the right side bumper doesn't ever really get that messed up. I think it's because obviously the driver's always on the other side, so not that much weight. However, on this side, you would have never even known that this was right there if you didn't already know that. So when I epoxy it, I think I'm going to try to epoxy this part back on there as well somehow. I think it goes like this, something like that. So I'll probably try to epoxy this on there, and then I'll use those clamps to hold it down. So yeah, let's get to part 2, bumpers off. All right, so when you get behind the bumper, you're gonna have these things right here, I guess little bumper tab holders, whatever. I don't see very many videos on how to remove them. It's pretty simple, but I was kind of struggling with it just because I didn't understand it. So basically, it sits on the bumper kind of like this, basically. I think it's upside down. It sits on the bumper like this. One hole has a screw in it, just a little regular Phillips head screw. And the other hole is like a tab inside. So once you remove the screw, I use like a drill. You put like one of these behind where the screw was. It's like a little tab behind there. You just want to fit it back there behind it and kind of pry it out, and it'll pop that side out. And then what I did, I just twisted the other side, and it just came out basically. I was struggling with that for about 15 minutes or so. Now that I have that, you're gonna put these on. This is the part that replaces this plastic part. Make sure you get the right side. The screw holes go down, and it should fit literally right on the holes, just like that. And you can kind of use the slots to decide how low or high you want the tab to sit. I probably have mine like kind of in the middle, and then I'll show you how it looks when it's done. Oh, also you should have some hardware that comes in the bag as well. I'll grab that really quick. So yeah, here's the hardware that it comes with as well. As you can probably assume, you're going to put a screw and a washer behind. Pretty self-explanatory stuff, but I'll show you on this side how I do it. So you got four screws that come in the pack, 4 holes obviously, 4 washers. You're gonna put a washer, a screw, and a nut on each one, and it should sit something like this. Let's see if I can figure this out. Alright, so I ended up just taking the headlight bolts out so I could see back here behind the screws I need to put in. Basically, I need to put that one right there in, and then there's another one back there I need to screw in as well. Just did that so I can have better clearance, so I can see what I'm doing better. The fender pieces are on. Now all I have left is just the bumper parts that go to the bumper tabs. I'm going to start with the side that's not completely messed up, because the other side, I have to reattach that as well. I think how I'm going to do that is just literally put it on here, and when I epoxy it, I'm going to clamp that on as well, so hopefully it'll all reattach as one. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So yeah, essentially this is how it's going to sit for the next day or so it dries. When you put it on there, it's kind of like hot glue. So like when you apply it and you bring it off, those little string that you get from hot glue is similar to this. It doesn't dry that fast because it didn't dry during the time that I was walking from here to there, but typically you give it like around 24 hours to settle, so that way it fully makes contact with everything. I might apply some more clamps around because the tabs themselves are not, how do you say, like they're not, like the tabs are kind of bent, so I need something else to hold it down in the meantime. So I might get something else to put as clamps here, but for right now this is going to work just to hold it down. And now we're going to move over to this side here so I can figure out how I want to go about doing this too. So alright, so the epoxy is all on this side, all clamped down and everything. I kind of wish I got double the clamps that I got, so if anyone's looking for any tips on that aspect, I think you should get double, just because there's some parts like here that don't quite fit the way it's supposed to. That's just because the bumper itself has been bent so much over time, so I kind of want more weight to hold it down, but it is going to dry like that nonetheless. And then I got this side on as well, same thing over here as well. Actually this side was a little bit better just because since it's popped, it kind of released some tension along this line, so it wasn't quite as bad, but it is a little bent. But I did get the part on that I wanted to get on. I put a zip tie here so that way it'll also bond going that way on the bumper as well. So now I'm going to give it about a day to give it about a day to dry, and then I'll be back for y'all in a couple seconds. A couple seconds for y'all, a whole day for me. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next clip. All right, it's a quick little update. It's been, I want to say 10 hours maybe. It's probably midnight. I think I started around 1 or 2, somewhere around there. I don't know, I didn't check the time when I started, but anyways, let's say somewhere between 8 and 10 hours it's been. You can see it's drying. Well, you probably can't see it's drying, but it's drying. The epoxy is getting pretty hard. It still feels like a little bit like gel, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much because I don't want anything to move. But the main part that I was worried about is this tab right there. I was trying to make sure it wasn't gonna like fall off. And it's on there. I'm pushing pretty hard now and it's not moving, so it should be good. But I'm gonna give it till tomorrow to fully set. This side looks pretty good. So yeah, let me give it to tomorrow to fully set. Make sure I do this all right and don't rush anything. So yep. All right, so it is the next day. Let this epoxy, or I learned it's actually not epoxy, it's just adhesive, whatever, I don't know. But let it dry overnight. It's been about 20 hours, I want to say. I'm very impatient, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take these off now. Everything seemed to dry the way it's supposed to. Specifically, this part right here is not moving. As you can see, it's now bonded to the bumper. So we're gonna go ahead and take my clamps off. Damn, that is stuck. All right, so the brackets are on. It looks decent, but I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this bracket on this side a little bit higher so it sits a little more flush with the fender. Cause you see that little bit of gap right there. Like from far away, you can't really tell, but when you get a little closer, I want to sit a little higher. This side, though, sits pretty well. Virtually no gap anymore. Obviously, this right here, how it's kind of like not level. That's gonna get fixed when I screw in the screw or zip tie the screw, because I don't have the screw anymore. Or actually, I never had the screw because the last owner, or I don't know, there was never a screw in there. But yeah, so that side's basically good. I don't really like how this headlight's sitting though. I'm not a huge fan of that. Oh, kind of pushes in like that. That's better. But yeah, the fitment is decent. I'm sure I can just go at this right here with zip tie. Hopefully that'll fix when I do that. And then this side as well. Maybe if I push it in, when I push it in like that, will it sit a little more flush? It does sit more flush when I push it in like that. So now that's a lot better. I'll take that. Just had to push it in on the headlights some more. But yeah, that is basically what you're gonna get with the Mac lifter kit. So yeah, I'll show you a quick before. This is the side, this is the problem side, so I'll throw in that clip of before, and this is how it looks after. So you can see it definitely fixed that bumper gap, because now it's sitting on those metal frames inside there. So let me go ahead and finish up, and then I'll show you how it looks. Alright, so here's the finished product. This side, this is the best I could do on this side. I'll get more into, what I liked and didn't like about the kit once I'm done showing you guys the fitment. And then here's the problem side, my problem child. Looks decent. The zip tie didn't do that well at keeping it closed, but this is way better than it was, so I will take that for now until I eventually feel like fixing it again. Yeah, that's basically how it's going to end up looking. Along there, and then the headlight as well. Alright, so final thoughts. Everything went as well as it should have. I'm sure I could have probably gotten the fitment a little bit better if I just took some more time to like properly put everything, you know, where it's supposed to go. Specifically like here, I think if I maybe would have, I don't know, maybe raised the bracket up some more, it might have fit a little bit better. But it definitely fits a lot better than it did, and I'm happy with what I have for right now. Like I said, I might go back eventually and, you know, fix some parts or raise it a little bit more, but for right now, this will do. So if anyone with 2IS, or I think they have a lot of more Japanese brands, if you are looking for some way to raise your bumper, fix your bumper sag, definitely I would suggest going with Mac Lifter Kit. I don't know if there's any other brands that even do this, so if y'all enjoyed that or learned something from that, let me know. If y'all have any suggestions for me how I can fix it a little bit better, also let me know. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, man. I got some more content on the way. I got a lot of plans for this car, so I think next big thing I'm gonna do is probably putting the starlights in the ceiling and the roof. It's already black, so it should be a lot easier. So I don't have to switch it out to, you know, black suede, because my old car was tan interior. So I'm gonna put some starlights in the roof. So that should be a pretty cool little project. So stick around.